Hi YKH, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Okay, I'm trying to get the comments to pop up. See if I can do that. I'm always struggling with this. Always struggling. How are you, YKH? What's the topic today? Okay, I hope you can see the comments popping up. The topic today is we are going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to talk about Professor Yang, who predicted some very important things. We're going to discuss Bitcoin's price action, fear and greed index, some macro news as well, crypto bubbles. We're going to have a look at some of the altcoins, what's trending, what's popular, what is dying, of course, and how we are positioning based on the price action that we saw late last week. So I'll start first with, I hope you can see the comments popping up on the screen, right? Forgot to ask about that. I think you can see them. Let's see. Yeah, they pop up. Cool. Thanks for confirming. Okay. Well, I'll start with somebody said something very interesting, that we are entering the most dangerous era in the last 100 years. And this isn't just a random guy on the internet that we're listening to. He's a geopolitical analyst living in China, a high school teacher. And he predicted major global events before people even thought about that, before they happened. I'm talking about this professor. I'm sure he's very popular right now, and a lot of you have probably come across him. Professor Yan. He said something very interesting back in 2024. He made three predictions. The first one was Donald Trump would win the elections. The second prediction is the US would go to a war with Iran. The third prediction that he made was America would lose the war. Now, two of those already happened. We saw that Donald Trump won the elections, and also the US went to a war with Iran. Now, we are only waiting for the third prediction, but when you see like two things already happening, two predictions, when he speaks, we start listening very carefully because he seems to know and see things that we normal people don't tend to recognize early enough. And right now he's saying that what is happening in global aspect isn't just another normal crisis. This is a complete breakdown of the global system. And we, as normal investors and people, we don't understand something important, that when every time the global system breaks, money changes. It's not the same. And I'll tell you why now. This is based on what this professor is saying. Back in 1914, World War I, when it started, countries abandoned gold so they can print more money to fund the war. This changed everything. In 1971, the US removed the dollar from gold. Now, money is backed by trust, not value. And what happened next? Inflation exploded. 1973, oil crisis hits, energy prices surge, economies break. Investors panic and run to gold. If we go to 2008, banks collapsed. Trust disappeared back then. And something new was born at that time. What was that? Bitcoin. Bitcoin was born in 2009 as a response to the banking collapsing and the trust disappearing. Now, if we look at the situation nowadays, we have oil shock. Oil prices are sitting at new all-time highs. I'm going to show you here on the chart. They are skyrocketing. Look, for the past 2 months, what kind of rally we had for oil. War is escalating. Now we see some kind of ground invasion starting. Countries are abandoning the dollar. Gold hit record highs back in 2025 and even now in 2026. Although recently, if I bring the chart, it corrected a little bit because it has a very massive run back in 2025. over here. You can see the chart. And Bitcoin is the only asset that since October had a price action from 126 to $60,000, 48% drop. But we're going to talk about Bitcoin shortly. Now, what I'm trying to get to here is that this is a very similar pattern that we see this time. And this time we don't have only gold, we don't have only Bitcoin, we have both gold and Bitcoin. And to be honest, I have a lot of people who come to me all the time and ask me, is Bitcoin going up, or is it going down, or is it going to be sideways? And the reality is that it doesn't matter which direction Bitcoin goes into, whether it goes up or whether it goes down. It doesn't matter, because the real question is, what happens to money when the system we have right now breaks? That's the most important question, and this is where the value of Bitcoin comes. Let's just see the comments before that. Worst energy crisis of all time. Yes, for sure. And every time something similar happens. Right now, this time is with energy. Now, just to back up why I say in the short term, it doesn't matter where Bitcoin goes, whether it goes to 60K, whether it goes to 70K. If you zoom out and you look at a span over, let's say, 1 year or 2 years, you would realize that the price action at the moment doesn't matter at all, because Bitcoin has very important value nowadays. Rule number one that Bitcoin has, it is neutral. Bitcoin has no country, no government can freeze it. No one controls it. In a world where money is weaponized, neutrality becomes power, what we have right now with Bitcoin. Rule number two, it is portable. You can move millions across borders just with 12 words, which is your seed phrase. You don't need more than that. No banks, no permissions, no limitations, nothing. And rule number three for Bitcoin is scarcity. It is scarce. It has only 21 million Bitcoin will ever exist. It has a fixed supply, if you have forgotten that. Fixed supply. So while governments print, Bitcoin stays fixed. It's limited. And yes, maybe it's not so stable right now. We see the price fluctuating. But people don't understand that every crisis similar to what we have right now, first everything crashes. It's a normal reaction, especially for riskier assets. It's normal to see this kind of volatility. But then eventually we see governments printing to keep up with the crash in the economy. Then at the end, strong assets always win. Not only strong but scarce assets. That's why gold and Bitcoin, at whatever price you bought those at, you can never go wrong. And I'll tell you one smart person who is actually doing that shortly. I'll show you something interesting. Long-term vision is very important, as YKH says. That's definitely how you have to look at things, rather than having the tunnel vision. Fernando, welcome. Keep loading up. That's the way to go. 2027, even the end of 2026, you would be already thanking yourself. So if this professor that I talked about at the start, if even a fraction of what he says is right, because we've already seen two of his points becoming reality, if he's partially right, what we're seeing right now is just not a normal volatility. We are entering a world where currencies are weakening, systems fracture, and trust completely disappears. So in that world, who is going to win? And what is going to win? Bitcoin, because Bitcoin doesn't rise because things are stable, right? It rises because they are not. That's what's causing the rise in Bitcoin. If the system is breaking, what do you want your money sitting in? Do you want them sitting in cash, in dollars? The dollar is losing its value. The bank can freeze your account at any time, seize whatever you have. or you would rather have it in Bitcoin. And right now, Bitcoin, yes, is volatile. It dropped, I think, 48% from the all-time high. We can measure that on the chart. Price from the all-time high to the 60K, more than for 52% drop for 6 months. That's one, the fear and greed index that I want to show you. You can see that's the all-time high. We were at extreme greed. Since then, October, we have been sitting in fear. Not only I'm not wearing headphones now. That's my hair. That's my hair. That's my hair. Okay, yeah, sorry. So the fear and greed index for 46 consecutive days, we've been in extreme fear. That's just not normal. Normal fearfulness. We have been in extreme fear for more than 2 months now. That's the longest streak since the FTX collapse back in 2022. That's some kind of sustained panic that is happening right now. And within those 46 days, and recently what has been happening behind the scenes, we had, for example, the Bybit CEO, co-CEO, stepping down, as you can see here in the news. We had the US SEC enforcement chief resigning, and we have had so many layoffs in the industry at once. Algorand Foundation cutting on staff, Gemini, Crypto.com, Messari if you wish. We're not going to go into all of those because it's not so important to us. But what I'm trying to tell you is that we have had over 450 jobs gone in only 3 weeks, from exchanges, legislations, and these are all gone at the same time. And this is bigger than the price action that we see. This is a shift in power, old guard stepping back, companies tightening, regulations getting messy. I discussed the Clarity Act in one of my live streams last week. While the market is sitting at peak fear. So if you had, for example, $10 billion to invest yourself, would you buy when everyone is excited, when Bitcoin is sitting at $126,000? Or would you buy when everyone is terrified and selling? What would you do? Well, obviously, it's logical to say you would buy when everyone is terrified and selling, right? And this is what one person is doing right now. Retail investors like us, we are panicking and waiting, calling for the 50K crash, 40K. I even recently saw some people calling for 30K, 26K, which, to be honest, I don't think that's even logical to think of Bitcoin at 20K. I might be wrong, of course, but personally, I can't, my mind doesn't accept this idea. And I don't see any evidence for Bitcoin to drop to 20K. And the person that I'm talking about is actually Sailor. He is planning, well, most of us, we are ignoring the opportunities. Sailor, he already has 762,000 Bitcoin at average price of 66K. And right now, instead of, slowing down and saying, oh, I'm not going to buy, I'm just going to wait for a further crash, what we say ourselves, instead of slowing down, he announced a $42 billion capital. He would be raising this to buy more Bitcoin. And that's not panic. That's not uncertainty. This is conviction at the exact moment when everyone else is scared. So while we are thinking, waiting, calling for 50K, people with conviction are buying and accumulating. Do you think he's reckless? Or do you think he is early? What do you guys think? Let's see the comments. Cryptovania, welcome. I don't think he's reckless. I think he knows what he is doing very well. I don't think he's reckless. And not only him, We can give example with BlackRock and these corporations, these individuals, even if you wish. Everyone has, different. You think he's early? I think so too. I think he's early. Very smart moves. The same with Tom Lee for Ethereum. Like Sailor is heavily accumulating Bitcoin. Tom Lee is heavily buying Ethereum when everyone is afraid right now. So I don't think these people, are new to the game. They are beginners. They don't know what they are doing. Even as I said, Michael Saylor average price now has dropped to 66k. It was recently at 75k. It is 6k average buy price. He's almost underwater right now, but he doesn't stop. He has plans to continue accumulating. And that's what I encourage each one of us or you to be doing, rather. Keep buying, because in these opportunities where everyone is calling 30k, 20k is incoming, where there is war, this is where big financial changes happen. And this is where the best opportunities are hidden. You have to be sure of that. No one gets rich when, Bitcoin is at 126. Come and buy. When everyone is, you get the taxi drivers talking about Bitcoin, you have your grandma, grandpa, whoever comes and tells you, oh, have you heard of Bitcoin? You know about Bitcoin? When everything is going onto the media, this is your sign to sell. It's not your sign to buy. This is not how you get rich. He is reckless. Really? I don't think he's reckless. Is it MicroStrategy buying personal account? No, it's for his clients. Yes, but I don't want to discuss that here, but they have structured, like you have strategy, you have STRC, you also have MicroStrategy as a stock. They've built a very successful way that I already described in one of my videos to deal with Bitcoin in very different ways to build something and to make profits. It's for their clients, yes, for his clients. Hey Vanya, how are you? Big fan. Yes, too much knowledge. No, guys. Thanks, Andy. Everyone can be reckless with other people's money. True, but he also himself, like he was one of the early, buyers, one of the early people who went into Bitcoin. And he's been accumulating. Tom Lee for Ethereum, the same. You have BlackRock, you have Fidelity. Okay, let's see. Before we go into this, today we added a new project on Discord. No changes in my long-term projects. I still haven't added AI project just because there is so much hype around AI right now. I would rather wait for a little bit and then enter on an AI project. We added a new gem today on Discord. We sold one last week. Katana. We are still holding Aster, although we sold initially. We made profits with Aztec, still holding some position, and then we haven't sold anything from the new projects we added over the last 3 weeks, because the market has been pretty choppy, uncertain. We've seen Bitcoin crashed. Let me show you the chart of Bitcoin. And by the way, if you want to join Discord, you would find the link to it under every video that I post on YouTube. And I would be happy to welcome any one of you as part of the community. A lot of us get hurt on this liquidation candle for Bitcoin, and all the altcoins experienced exactly the same. This is why I'm saying when you have stop losses, exchanges can see that. They are hunting liquidity, and that's usually where the stop losses are. Can you see here this candle? This massive candle over here. This is where a lot of us got hurt yesterday. People who were trading This candle was a very good liquidation candle. Bitcoin dropped to 64K and bounced back immediately to the upside. And it dropped just below the, as you can see, of the channel, the lower side of the channel. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. That's more visible here. I've marked this channel for myself, for my own guidance, my trading opportunities, and we came just below it. That's what a liquidation hunt looks like. Liquidated all the positions, the stop losses, hunted the liquidity, and created a small cascade to the upside. If we zoom to a smaller time frame, you would see that clearly. Anyway, let's see what's trending. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. We'll have a look at those together now. The war is Black Swan. Yes, it could turn into a Black Swan event. It can turn into that. The only issue is that we don't have so much leverage. If you go back to October, we had massive leverage in the space. Everyone going like crazy, 50x, 100x leverage, and trying to become millionaires overnight. And this is where everyone got hurt, like 80% of the traders. Now we don't have such kind of, and a lot of the positions are betting that Bitcoin is going to go to the downside. I showed the liquidation heat map in one of my videos yesterday, how it looks like. A lot of people are betting that Bitcoin is going down. In fact, I don't know if I can bring the liquidation heat map right now. It's probably going to take me some time to go to Glassnode and bring it. But in general, most people are now betting that we are going to 30k, 40k, and usually the market always goes in the opposite direction because it's hunting the liquidity. The war is a black swan, but definitely yes, the war can act as a black swan, although it already didn't. At the start of the war, I personally was one of the people who was expecting Bitcoin to drop to 50k as the war started, but we saw the opposite. Bitcoin has been holding very stable and strong over the past few months, since the war started the past few weeks. We've been going into that consolidation range. It had a pump to 75k twice within that period, 3 times almost. So it's been very stable upon the release of such kind of negative news. We saw gold crashed, I know how many percent, probably 20%. We saw silver since the war started. Silver has gone down a lot. Everything has gone down, but Bitcoin is the only asset who has been volatile but holding pretty strong compared to, even if you check stocks. Stocks also entered some kind of correction phase. Now let's see crypto bubbles. We see Shiba Inu. Do you guys recognize some of these projects that you're holding on the daily? C is up 4%. That's the best project for upcoming bull run, in my opinion, the upcoming cycle. Jupiter, quite a bit. Bong, Sky, what else do we see here? Render, Solana, small bubble, very modest. Aster has a bigger bubble, 3%. I find a trend here, to be honest, on this chart. I can see that meme coins are trying to... What microphone is that? I think that meme coins are trying to, to have their own small mini cycles right now, like small bull runs. If you look at Trump, 3.4% up, we see Shiba Inu. If you look, Pengu is also here as trending. Doge, Bonk, we see that meme coins, in fact, on this page have one of the biggest bubbles. Pepe, Siren as well. Siren had a massive run. I don't know if you've guys seen that, but unfortunately I think it appeared to be some kind of like bundled scam, I think. That's what I read. It had a very massive spike. I don't know if any of you caught that move from cents to kind of $3-4 almost. I don't know if you guys caught this move, but Shiba Inu, pretty big bubble on this page. Trump, I would say stay away. I'm a little bit biased here. I personally bought official Trump when it was first launched. I made 3x and I sold it, but I wouldn't go back to it, to be honest. Simon's cat is my favorite meme coin. Simon's cat. Where is it? Simon's cat. 12 million market cap. Starting to wake up. The thing is, see, almost if you check whatever meme coin you check, it has a very similar chart to this. Almost all the meme coins look like this. It doesn't mean that they won't recover, but if you bought up here at 0.0006, whatever that number is, I don't see it going back there, to be honest. I don't see it going back there, but I can see it starting to wake up. Of course, if you bought here, you can make some quick profits to the upside. But if you bought it, as I said, up here and waiting for it to come back there and for you to make 5x, 10x, I don't think this is going to happen, but obviously your experience, you know what you are doing probably better than me. It's a cool meme though. A lot of cats in the space nowadays, cats and dogs. Let's see on the second page what's trending. Memes will make the most profits out of all every bull run. Yes, it's definitely good to hold at least one or two memes, maybe one with pretty big market cap, let's say Pepe. I like Pepe. I think Pepe has, it's a liquidity winner and is the most desired meme coin within like the traders community. Shiba Inu is not bad. You also have Bonk, pretty good one. Solana's ecosystem backing, solid meme. I like Bonk, I like Shiba Inu, I like Pepe. What else? I like Whiff, Dog with Hat, also another good one on Solana. These are good memes. I definitely recommend having one of those, and at the same time, it is also worth having some small market cap, like for example what OG said, Simon's cat, for example. It's not a bad one to have one more speculative as well, because you never know. Meme coins are wild. They can spike out of nowhere because of a tweet, because of a word, because of some kind of community takeover or some influencer pushing it. They can have they can be very explosive, massive gains. I bought it here in the lows. Wow, you've done a very good job. So definitely, if you buy a meme like this that is small market cap, you have very good potential to make some good money. Let's just see on the second page. Kite is doing well. It's been on my watch list for some time. Walrus, Suisse ecosystem. Okay. On the third page, Deep is a project that I hold. As you can see, it's doing pretty well. For the page, it has one of the biggest bubbles after these three, 5.8%. I do believe Deep will perform very well when C starts performing and when overall liquidity comes into the picture. It's definitely a DeFi project that I would consider. I see Turbo. Turbo is another good meme to consider. A lot of influencers are pushing for Turbo. Another one is Toshi. Toshi and Turbo are, I saw Toshi here on the same. Toshi, where was it? Here. Toshi on base. It's another, I guess, good meme. I see Dr. Alrayan here. Quant. You're a quant holder. How is it doing? Let's see. Where is it? Quant. Quant is a good project, to be honest, and the chart looks very good. It had its peak, now it's been consolidating. Good chart, listed everywhere. It's a solid project, to be honest. If I didn't have so many projects already in my portfolio, I would have considered that. But if you are holding it, good for you. It's been doing well. What else is trending? I think I reached to the fourth page. Barb waves. I saw Aztec here as well. Oh, let's go. Aztec is a privacy coin. I think privacy coin is a very hot narrative for this upcoming bull run. If you're wondering if you want to hold some kind of privacy project, Aztec is a good one. You also have Monero and other. You can check on CoinMarketCap within the privacy section, but definitely privacy projects is something you should consider for this upcoming bull run. I have myself Aztec. We already made around 2x with Aztec. I sold some, but I'm still holding my position for longer term because I think Aztec has good potential and good backing. And it already got listed on all the exchanges, so it's very accessible. If you're interested, you can grab some Aztec. Okay, well, is there any more comments, guys? Any questions you want to ask? If not, I guess we'll park it here for today. If you missed the start of the stream, go and rewatch it. I've been talking about Professor Young, his predictions that are coming true, and what is going to happen to the monetary financial system. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. Stay. Thank you. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions, drop them in the live stream or once I upload it, and we'll pick it up in the next live stream. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.